In the 5 years since we've started the IOWN Global Forum, we've had some pretty major accomplishments, starting with just assembling this global community focused on this next generation of networking and network infrastructure. We've established a vision for an all-photonics infrastructure, and we've even started to build out and demonstrate what that can look like, seeing early rollouts of examples in Japan. And then extending beyond the IOWN Global Forum as a global community, we've started to make connections with critical open source communities through liaison work with the Linux Foundation, with the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, and with the Open Programmable Infrastructure Project. So a number of projects coming together to help drive the vision forward, partially on the IOWN Global Forum side and partially how we connect more broadly with the open source communities. Over the next 5 years, we have some pretty audacious goals, starting with a focus around reducing power consumption by 100x, increasing performance of networks through the bandwidth and transmission capabilities, significant increase like 125x, and then reducing the latency of end-to-end connections by 200x. So these are huge goals. In order to achieve those, we need to keep working on the projects that we're doing today. One of the things I like about the approach that we're taking in the IOWN Global Forum is not just establishing the vision and the future to-be state, but also looking at the iterative steps that we need to take to get from here to there. So for example, with an all-photonics network, we can start off with photonics electronic converged infrastructure as a stepping stone in the right direction. So we have a lot of big, audacious goals. We have this grand vision that can help bring more sustainable, flexible computing infrastructure to drive next generation workloads, especially when you think about data sharing and AI. And that's what I think we'll be working on for the next 5 years. With a set of big, audacious goals, we need to work together as a global community. So bringing the global forum together with the open source communities, I think, is one of the critical tools we can use to kind of overcome the challenge. Again, building massive infrastructure to reduce power, increase the throughput and performance of the network with an all-photonics network means very substantial change across the board. And we're not talking about only the networks, but also bringing this into the data center with data-centric infrastructure. So the challenges are rolling this massive infrastructure out in ways that are kind of bite-sized chunks. So how can we introduce change into networks and into data centers through existing technologies? The combination of photonics and electronic converged infrastructure is one example. Leveraging existing system interconnects like CXL to start building composable computing infrastructure is another example, where in the future we'll have the ability to really truly pool resources of memory and CPUs and accelerators. Today we can start that with existing infrastructure. So I think the way to overcome these challenges is assemble the global community, bridge between different types of communities, and then build this sort of iterative approach to introducing change. I've been a part of the IOWN Global Forum for a number of years now, and what attracted me to the IOWN Global Forum is the ability to make fundamental change across the ecosystem, impacting networks and compute, and building towards a more sustainable, smarter, more connected future. So that's really my vision for the IOWN Global Forum. And coming from an open source background, I'm really interested in how we bridge the technical capabilities that we're building in the IOWN Global Forum together with open source communities. The work that we're doing in the IOWN Global Forum is really focused on reducing power consumption and aiding in net zero carbon emissions for networks. So that benefits the entire world, from the footprint of consumption of power within the networks. Also, as we build these really efficient networks that are not just lower power, but also better performance in terms of connectivity and latency, we can introduce smarter infrastructure, whether it's smart cities or smart buildings. All of this is building a more connected, smarter future world. And to me, this is the super exciting mission that we're on together in the IOWN Global Forum.